see some of them if you're willing to show your face on a Sunday. Mr. Pushparaj, you are ready?
Yes, sir. How are you doing, Sri?
Doing great. So Sunday is good for you?
Yes, very much. It's weekend over here.
Weekend mode, had a good lunch and little relief and relaxed time.
Yeah. And didn't have the afternoon sleep because the next class is going to be only 1 hour today.
Okay. So not much high pressure today. Little
Exactly. Yeah. Oh.
Usually Sundays are meant to relax, isn't it?
Trying.
Try.
It never happens.
So which part of India you are?
Extreme south, close to Kanyakumari.
Good. It should be raining or should be warm now?
It is raining over there, but I am sitting in Dubai.
Ah, okay. Then it is warm. No
Yeah,
go.
it
You're
is very much warm here.
August, September are pretty peak season, right? Weather.
July, August is the peak. September by middle, it should come down.
Okay. Good to know. Good to know. Nice talking to you. Then your time should be now. What is your time zone now?
2:30.
2:30. Okay, post lunch. So little loaded time, already loaded.
Yes, yeah.
All right. Good to see you, Pushparaj. All right. I have a few more people. Hey, thanks a lot for the people who are in the camp. I appreciate it. Shalu and Praveen and a few more. And thanks all for joining here. And some of you from YouTube or LinkedIn. I appreciate all. This happens on Sunday. Look like just we met last Sunday, again another Sunday is here. So days are running faster. Seems we are getting old a little bit. At the same time, these sessions are meant to give some fresh up knowledge for the people who already in the track of preparation. So you could have observed people here on the right side. If you see the list of names, some of the names you don't know because they are not from your group, could be from different group. So what we are doing here is we are conducting this every Sunday as a Q&A and some subject sharing. So people from different batches from past years will participate. So it's a great ground for you to converse, get some friends who are preparing. For example, you find X person here. You may reach out to them directly. Hey, I know you're going for the exam. Let's do a group study or let's converse something. So first of all, coming to the class, you get some good set of people. On top of that, when you come to this kind of concentrated session towards examination, you may find a person who have a date for the exam in the next 3-4 weeks or next 2 weeks. I know you cannot disturb them because when you come close to the exam, they don't want to be disturbed. They want to be very focused. But there may be some people who are in a good tune already. You can connect with them to talk how they are reading, what is the study plan, how they're doing, if they're willing to share. Of course, you can't force them, but you can get some knowledge. So that's the purpose of conducting these kind of programs. So materialize it. That's very important. Unfortunately, many things are in front of us, but we don't materialize. We keep on hunting for new things in life. Nice to know, but many things in front of you, like this kind of course. Like this, we've done number of Sundays. If you can go back to our YouTube channel, you will see a lot of video recordings. In every video recording, 1 or 2 questions would have been discussed at least. A question will go for 5-10 minutes. So if really you're worried of how to solve a question, how to read a question, I think this video will solve you. I will not tell all the video will be helpful. Some will be very meaningless discussion for 10 minutes. You didn't get any answer at all. I would have given a wrong answer for a question. Somebody would have given a wrong answer, but that's okay. But how you read the question, that will help you a lot. So if you are really hunting for a way how to read a question, read a book, these are the videos, these are the sessions going to help you. So first, thanks a lot for joining here on this Sunday. Let's take next 55 minutes to utilize for this purpose. How this program goes. First thing, we'll listen to the people who are close to the exam. Some people will be tomorrow's exam, 4 days exam, 5 days exam, little shivering, happy, all feel will be there. We'll talk to them. And then I'll bring a subject today. We're talking something on communication management. I'll pick up 1 or 2 topics on that. We'll converse it. And then I have some question to share. We'll discuss that question. Also listen your question. Oh man, within 1 hour, how many topics? Okay, let's do all this thing. And first, let's start with the people who have some exams coming up in few days. Once again, good evening and good afternoon to the people who joined just now. Thanks a lot. Quickly, I'll get to the person who are getting to exam. Do we have someone here who are getting to exam in next, let's say, 1 week or 10 days of time? And for information, last week who participated here said that I have exams. They all cleared the exam. I have at least 2-3 people messaged me, pretty excited, and they were all, wow, nice, feel happy, excited. So everyone who came here last week cleared exam. This week, I don't see anyone hands going up. So I assume no one here joined who are going to the exam in next few days. So, okay, I'll leave it there, this topic. And then I'll go to the next topic where I have something on subject to share. Okay, so I'm going to share the screen right now. Meantime, if anyone have any exam related, put your hands up. I'll come back to you. First question to people here. How many of you think that even though we are good in language, good in writing skills, still we struggle a little bit when it comes to real communication on a needed point on your personal life? For example, you want to buy something, you want to negotiate it better for a house contract. You want to buy a property, you want to buy a car, a bigger purchase. You thought you want to do a better job, but the day when you went on communication with them, it doesn't go well. What you thought you didn't communicate, when you come back home and your family says that, man, you should have negotiated better. And then you feel that, shucks, man, yes, I should have done better. Now, if you feel something like this happen in your personal life, it is very common for many of us where we think something should have been done, but in real life, something would have gone wrong. We say it's wrong, but that is what we deserve. Really? Yeah, that is what we deserve. What you prepare, that is what will happen in your life. It is not something what you want, you get what you deserve, which means the groundwork, what you've done, that reflects in front of you. Somebody is well prepared to negotiate for a house contract. Somebody is well prepared to negotiate in a vegetable vendor to negotiate. They do a good job because you prepared. Even though you can't get 100, at least 80% you get there. Somebody just thinks I have to do, but doesn't have any steps to do. Go and talk to a house contract vendor or a vegetable vendor or a car purchase or a neighbor who is fighting with you because of wrong car parking or your dress fell on their door. It goes into fight mode. It goes into an heated argument. The reason is the preparation is not good. So we get only what we deserve. This is what at least I observed. If that is on the personal life, same goes with the project management. In project management, blindly you say that good communication needed, fantastic. Amazing communication needed, superb. Quality communication needed, fantastic. So what you did for it? Now, I know these all there. Those all philosophy. Now, what is the groundwork? The groundwork is first understanding who all stakeholders in a project. What is their expectation related to communication? And then list it down properly and then follow with them. Now, it sounds very simple when I'm saying this, but it is a very tedious process in a project. Many companies feel this will be taken care by project manager, will be taken care by team members, for which in a company they have something called governance framework. I would have said this in the classes, did I? Governance framework, a steering committee. And this committee, yeah, we did it right. So there's a steering committee or a governance framework team. They would have framed something in a company. When a project comes in, we have to note down RACI chart. We have to note down something on contract itself, who are the high level stakeholders, what is their communication, everything they written it there. After which they don't disturb it, they leave it. Why they leave it is they believe that you and me are qualified project managers who are capable of understanding a company, a project will work like this. And then they believe people will follow this. Now, what happens is many people join the company. When they join the company, they learn how a company works. But many don't learn how a framework works in a company. A company will have a framework. You have to read that framework and you have to read the industry standards and start following that. Those are the people grow in an organization. They become a director or a CEO. One day they called as a Sundar Pichai as a executive of Alphabet company. That doesn't pop up just like that. They read, they understand, they follow what is good for the organization. Now, unfortunately, many managers, they don't know such thing exist. Even if it exists, they don't spend time to do this job. For that reason, when you go for a course like a PMP or Scrum certification or Agile certification, there it is mentioned in a project, you should do these patterns. That is the reason when you got PMP certified, companies recruit you. The reason is this person already knows what to be done. Yeah. All right. So what I do is I put some content in front of you so that you don't want to stare at my face, which you may not like to see long time. So what I do is I'll go here. This screen should be visible to you now. You're able to watch out. Coming up well.
Yes.
So thanks for confirming.
Yes.
I could see a hands up there. Akhil, you had something for me? You have a question for me?
Hi, Sriram. Good evening. The question is regarding the PMP exam itself. So I think in the first session, we were already told that during the exam, if there is a power cut or something, then we will get another chance to take the exam.
Mm-hmm.
Is the same thing applies when we fail, or once we fail, we have to again start from scratch?
How you link power cut and failure together? What is the connection here between both? I don't see a connection there. Connection disconnect.
There is no connection, but
okay. Okay. Also, power cut should be at your home. In your uncle house, power cut happen, they won't give you re-exam. Okay. Okay. Coming back on your question, I like the question what you asked. When I fail the exam, will they give me another attempt? So that's your question. Is it correct?
Correct.
Very good. When you say another attempt, what do you mean by this? Which is with the same cost or with the new money paid? What is your question there?
Not sure. I mean, with the same cost.
What is with the same cost? Once you pay the money, they
how
should
many
give
attempts we get?
Couple of attempts. Okay. They can give this, but then they'll be called as, what is it? Roller coaster ride. If you go to a theme park, you pay the money, they'll give you a band on your hand. You wear the band and you go for roller coaster one time. You feel, yeah, let me go one more round. They'll give you. That's called theme park. And this is a professional exam. You do it, we lose it, which means you paid for that. You did, you lost. It's gone. Which means you have to again pay for it and go for it. Clear enough?
Yes, thank you.
Right. So we are sitting in a world top rated professional exam, not a normal one. Okay. That's why they be very careful on what they do, because there are a lot of cost involved to run an exam. Anyway, I'm not doing anything here. PMI Institute involves a lot of cost to run an exam. All right. Okay. I hope that cleared. Can I go with the subject, or I'm seeing a couple of more hands popping up? Karthik and Harsha, is it something going to be on the communication management, or can I complete communication, come to your questions? What is your thought?
You can complete and we can take it later.
Fantastic. If not, this communication will be interrupted. All right. I will come back to the topic on the topic. Please keep your question. I'll come back to you. What you see in the screen, we're talking about plan communication with the stakeholders. Okay. Why I brought this screen is when you say communication management, it is so broad. We don't know what to do. The first thing is you prepare a stakeholder register and create a proper engagement plan. The engagement means the detail of what actually expected from the customer. When I say stakeholder, it's not always customer. Okay, it can be your PMO office. It can be your sponsor. It can be a vendor. It can be a government authorities. It can be an internal department in your company. So you identify required management strategies to effectively engage stakeholders. When you say effectively engage, communication is also part of it. Don't think only communication. Don't think no communication. It's a mix of both. You have to involve them in development or doing the job. You have to involve them to show what you have completed. But for all these things, this language should happen, which means communication should happen. Team fulfills strategies through what? So there's a via is a very key word. What is via? Through communications. So if you really want to engage your stakeholders, one of the key parameters is communication. But Shriram, I'm talking from my age of 2.5 or 3. Some kids start talking from 2 years very well itself. Talking is different. Being clear is different. When you ask a question, how clear you are you able to ask a question from the person who can receive also can understand? Some people think something in their mind, ask a question. So you have to put 2-3 questions to make them to come out with the right question. That is fine. But are you on that mindset? Are you able to understand that? That's called personas, and that calls understanding empathy map. There are various techniques followed. Primary purpose here is you draft a proper communication plan, how effectively we are. Now, what is happening here is, in the market, what is happening here is, people think that once I draft an email, once I draft a document about somebody, what they said, communication ends. But actually, no. Because when you drafted an email, when you drafted a document, the mindset would have been different. When a person reading it, they could interpret in a different way. So it is very much evident that you have to go forward and ask questions. Have you understood this? Can I help you more on these information? Because every human being have a different way of decoding the message. Now, people attend the class. Do you remember the terms encoding, decoding? Have you?
Yes, Shri. Yes.
Yes.
Right. What is the chain of that encoding, and then what happens?
Feedback.
Convey the message
Active
Message
listening.
received
Opening.
and decoded.
or encoding and decoding, understanding the
Fantastic. I heard one correct answer in the voice. Can somebody repeat again? What is
Active
it?
listening.
Message
Feedback.
received and decoded.
Feedback.
Encoding, transmitting. Do anyone
Active
understand?
listening as well. Yeah.
Yeah, transmit. After transmitting, somebody decodes. So encoding is a
Decode.
packeting, decoding is opening the packet. And then written, what happens?
Feedback.
Feedback.
Feedback. But Shri, this is a very common one, man. I use it in my day-to-day life. I do this with my milk vendor. I do this when I go to a gym to meet somebody there. I do this with my family members. Nice. They are the people who know your rhythm of information. When you convey 100% of the information, they even get a 30%, they are happy. When they convey 100% of the information and you get 20%, still you are happy, because you don't really worry a milk vendor what she said. You really don't worry what in a gym some of your friends said, because that message doesn't carry big importance for you until you have somebody very close people in that area, right? Somebody, boyfriend, girlfriend, friend, brother, sister, then you will focus. If not, you will not. You will stay away from that. This will not disturb you. But in project management, if somebody says 100% and you are getting only 30%, are you safe or unsafe here?
Unsafe.
Unsafe.
Not safe. If some person is like this in your personal life, do you think they will have impact in professional life also? Think so?
Yes. Yes.
Highly possible. Have you seen some CEOs and directors and top level people? When I say top, not by money, by value. When they talk to anyone in a stage, apart from the stage, I'm talking in auditoriums or some big meetings, a little kid comes and talks to them, a old lady, old man comes to talk to them, they'll be kind enough to listen to them. Have you observed it?
Yes,
If
Shri.
you did it, that is called effective communication skills. It is not with the milk vendor, I talk something different. The auto driver in India, I talk something different. In my office, I talk something different. When I am there, I am there. Wow, really? I am there, I am there. That's very important skill in management. But see, why are you giving all the philosophy here? It is important because more than 95% of the people lagging this skill and expecting growth in life, lagging this skill and expecting peace and happy in life. Nothing will happen until you improve the skill. For this, will PMP help me? Sure, PMP will not come and tell you how you have to talk with the milk vendor, how you have to talk with your family members. But it can tell you stakeholder engagement is very important in management. In order to do that management, you need efficient communication. For efficient communication, you no need to have greatest language ability. One skill you have to develop is, what is that one skill? What is it one skill?
Attentive listening.
Effective listening.
Attentive listening. Attentive listening skill is one of the most free available skill in the world, for which no course needed. You no need to be a greatest person from a royal family. You may be from any family, any person, anywhere in the world. If you can keep your ears, eyes open, when somebody says something, give it full shot, observe, be very clear. That is solve the purpose. Now let's connect with the project. In project, when you say via communication, when I say the word via communication, your strategy can be achieved to this. Now, when I say attentive listening, we observed very well from the customer, your team members, PMO, vendor, architect, testing team, whatever it is, you draft it. And the drafting part is called communication management plan. How does it happen? You do this through requirement analysis, lead to a clear articulation of the stakeholders' communication needs, very specific. I'm not talking here about a milk vendor or a gym friend. I'm talking about communication to somebody who also value their time, your time. So you have to be very specific, clear, what time, what mode of communication, and what is expected. That too, when you start working with some of the countries where the time and your communication is important, you start realizing it. Do anyone realize that you worked with some countries where timing is very important? When they say 3, exactly 3. Have anyone realized or worked with them?
Yes,
Yeah.
Japan,
Yes, Sri.
majorly.
Yes.
Right. Now, when I say this with India, people start complaining the public sector, roads are not good, trains are not good, I'm coming late. That is only one portion of your life. The rest comes by your habit. If you have a habit of always late, you are always late. There is a people have a habit of being correct. Wherever they are, they'll be correct. If not, they'll inform 15 minutes before I'm running late. Okay, this is one. And if you work with some countries where communication will be very crisp and clear, when you say something, you are clear on what you say, not beating on the bush, right? But again, Sriram, why personal things coming here? Because it impacts. When you become a manager, your personal way of doing things also reflects on a professional way of things, which means a clear articulation is very important, for which again, I'm repeating, you no need to be great at language. You have to be good on what you want to say. When you're good on what you want to say, even though you don't know the language, people will try to get from you. That is the way human evolution has happened. Now, what happens? Enables effective choices about communication topics. Now, look at here. You choose a topic, what to be communicated very clearly, the frequency of communication, what models to be followed, and what technologies to be followed. Now, what is happening in the current system in the last 7-8 years or 10 years is people putting all the communication on the shoulder of technology, believing that we live in a world where we have technology, so anytime we can reach anyone. This anytime anyone made people lazy to make improper communication. I'll give some thoughts here. When those days, there is only one shot of communication, writing an inland letter. So they'll be very clear and specific when they write a letter. In a letter, only 5 paragraphs you can write. You'll be very clear, crisp what you want to say, because it's expensive, time consuming. People were good in communication. Those days we have a trunk call. I believe some of you heard about this. When they take a phone, they exactly say what they want to say because it's very expensive. People are clear, better than us. Now, in the name of we can talk anytime, anywhere, we are half-baked. Not everyone, some people, half-baked. Half a message convey. Improper question framing, not clear on what they say. What they think here is, anytime I can call this guy again. But you don't know that you are wasting the time of you, another person. You don't know that your delay could have spoiled your delivery timeline. Do you even connect with this? Because of technology, also, we are a little bit getting bad on communication.
Yes.
Is it happening?
Yes, Shri.
Happening?
Yes.
All right. Now, I don't want to put everything on the shoulder of technology. You should be clear on communication. Again, watch out, even in the high technology world, there are people growing in their life who are clear in communication. And these are the people who don't live with a device all the day. The people who at the highest level, you can see, they don't touch the device. The device will be far away. They'll be very clear what they want to say once, close it, do the job. Now, why I'm putting all these thoughts here? When you go back to your office on Monday, you have to look back. What is your stakeholder engagement in your project, what you're working today? In 6 months from now, 3 months from now, another project going to start. What is the engagement strategy there? In order to make this strategy effective, what is your contribution on communication understanding? You cannot tell that my company is bad, my strategy is bad. No, they may be bad. That's why they recruited you to make it better, right? Sundar Pichai could have sit and say that Google is not growing, Google is not growing. He would have done something, went up. Shri, why are you taking Google? Sundar Pichai's example. He's a known figure for last 10 years. So I'm taking his name. Like him, a number of people are there in the world. But the point is, how effective communication can be done is through first understanding stakeholder expectations. Let me go a little on this topic and then, yeah, this is a plan template, okay? Don't think this is what exactly look like. You can create your own. So you will have a stakeholder details. You have a methods of communication. In fact, can go a little more clear how you want to communicate, when you want to communicate, who is responsible for this. You start putting more columns as you need, but don't overload it too much. Stop with what is needed. And I have a document like this. You will have RACI chart, which talks about responsibility, accountability. You will have engagement strategy plans, but you cannot tell that that's there, because of which I will not write a communication plan. Communication plan is individually needed in a project because that is the one which you will share with your team members. You will share with your stakeholders to give a clarity of how things should work. What is happening in the corporates is, after this Outlook, OneNote, or Google Calendar, many calendars have came in, which is really efficient to store a lot of information. We don't rely on these plans. We think that, okay, we have an Outlook that will help me. But Outlook is only you and the other stakeholder. What about other people like PMO, project managers, or vendor? How do they know what kind of strategy you follow? So it is always advisable to write a plan and have a plan handy with you, because this is a draft of how things are working. You cannot rely only on Microsoft Outlook or a Google Calendar. Even though that helps, having a plan always helps you. Yep. Can I believe that some of you have a plan like this?
Yes.
Okay. That's on this part. I appreciate the people who share the inputs. Okay. There is a question. Is this communication plan mandatory for every project? I believe I was giving some information that in a project, it is going to be complicated if you don't have a plan like this, because initially when we start the project, you may have 5-6 people working together. It look like everything's going smooth because you know their phone number also, personal phone number. You may know some of their email IDs. You may know some of their address where they live initially. As the project starts growing bigger and bigger, what will happen is you start losing the context of who is involved and what they're doing there. And also, when there is an emergency situation happening in a project, we may not know what sort of communication should be done and whom to be reached. So it is always important to have a plan which will help us to tell who has to be reached when and for why, for which plan is important. I won't use the word mandatory. It is up to us to decide whether we want to fall under a successful project or mediocre, somewhat okay project. For that reason, we need a plan. Right, let's go a little more. And then what I had, here I had, how does it work in Agile projects? I don't think Agile is going to be a different alien here, okay? When you say Agile, look at the screen, let know people working in Agile or who learned Agile. Do you think these are the places we make communication in Agile? You feel that's
Yes.
part of communication?
Yes.
Yeah. All right. When I
Yes.
hear a yes here, is it a communication only within few set of people, or it can go beyond that?
Set of
A
people.
set of people only. It's
Set of people.
within the team.
Within the team. Okay. So which meeting goes within the team out of these 3 items, 4 items?
Stand-up meetings.
Stand-up meeting.
Okay. So Chitra, when you say stand up, who all participate in a stand up?
Whole team will participate and they will plan their work for the week.
Okay.
I mean, every day.
Okay. Okay. Team participate. Okay. I got the message that it's only set of people, only let's say 5, 10, maybe 11, 12 people stand up. Now, when I go to iteration review or iteration review, here it is only team, or can this be more people?
Sponsors
Some
involved.
more
Yes,
people.
it's
Product
between the
owner.
Business
customer,
stakeholders as well.
customer,
A
product
bigger
Product
bubble,
owner and
bigger
some-
bubble of stakeholders.
Possible, right? You can bring other people also. Iteration or iteration review is an open place. Anyone who is interested on the outcome can participate. So I'm keeping my communication a little more broader. When a person comes to this meeting, they have all the opportunity to give a feedback, ask question. I can note down their names, details, I'll come back to them. It's again now opening a little bit broader. What about retrospective? Is it for everyone?
team, project manager, the team.
Product owner is team and scrum master.
Primarily the team, right? Why retrospective only team? Because it is
They want to
retrospective.
know what went wrong and what went right.
Exactly. It is about how they worked. If something I want to talk to my team, I will talk in this place. Guys could have done this way, or appreciation can be given. But I'm not going to restrict it. I will not tell, no, sponsor, you should not come here. I'll kill you. You can't say that. They can come there, but no value addition for them. See, we are talking Agile, where value addition is important. We are talking Agile, time box is important. Here, people are not sitting ideal and let's go. Come on, man. It's time for retrospective. Let's go there with a coffee, sit and listen. No one says like that. They're busy. They do their job. You do your job. But if you want, they can invite them as well. For example, in a retrospective, a team member says, I want to share something for this particular vendor. Maybe you can invite them, but not mandatory if you want. Now, message I want to convey here is in Agile, communication goes like any other project. But here we have some terminology, some places where exactly meet the people, and the time is highly valued. You mean other projects don't value? They value, but now what happens is we're living in a world, time is crucial. On a Sunday in India, 4 to 5 p.m., you don't have any commitment to come and listen to this class. You're doing means there should be some value addition for you. If I can't give even 0.1% value to you, I'm sure next week you won't come. Or if I don't see any value I'm adding to what I'm doing, I will not do this. Why should I do and sit and do here? But this is not the case years back. People are doing it because they want to do. That's it. But off late, what's happening is we are living in a world where time is getting crucial, value is getting crucial. If you cannot do that, people will not come to you. Now, in Agile, they're very particular on time management. They're very particular on the word of value. These two aligns well, agility comes in. That's called lean management also. And I talk about that I should catch up this word called reporting. Okay. Now, I think I saw a comment here. Subhash says, is a MOM also part of communication method? Okay. Now, mom, do you think it's a method? Subhash says, why this question came up? We want to give a little highlight of it.
Yeah, I see. Because many times a stakeholder may miss that meeting or something. So
Yes.
if they want to be informed about that meeting, what has been happened in that meeting, so
Yes.
is MOM will be a part of that actually came to my mind while asking.
Right. So you feel that if you've spoken with some stakeholders in engagement strategy, and in the engagement strategy, your stakeholders mentioned that, see, we are a people who have a couple of more projects. So we keep traveling. Our meetings are conflict. Can you please record these meetings or take a minutes of the meeting and share with us? And if that's what agreed with both the party, and that's definitely going to be one of the communication artifact for your team members. If that is not discussed, but you feel yourself that it can be, then it's a failure. But answer the question, yes, it is. It will help, but provided you discuss with them. Yep,
Yes, sir.
you got that?
Yeah, I got that because in my organization, what I'm doing, like we have to record this MOM after every meeting.
Yeah.
That's actually came to my mind, like whether it will be a part of that because it has never been mentioned actually while we have discussed.
Fantastic, fantastic. You know, one thing, Subhash, is the days, at least when I started the career, we don't have this recording system.
Yeah.
Not even 5 years back. Okay. Okay. And now what happened is those days we have to write an email of, not even, there is an MOM format will be there.
Format
will be there. We agree with the client. This is the format. Header should be like this. Footer should be like this. Participants, time. We write key bullet points. Those days I felt it's nice because people read it at least once. Now in the name of recording is worth. But do you know how many people listening to the recording?
Yes, they're not recording. And one more thing is like the communication, there may be a data breach. They are not allowing to record that when we're having the meeting with
That is
client.
also there. If you're working in some Fortune companies, highly secured, they don't allow to record. And recording in a room, 30 people have to attend. Only 7 people attended. We share the recording. In 23 people, maybe 1 person listen to the recording. 2 person listen to the recording. What's the feel of the people is, anyway, it's there. Someday we'll listen. That someday never happens. Same like in PMP classes, how many people think that recording is there, we listen. This recording lost the real rhythm of writing an MOM, and people at least go through the MOM at a glance. We lost it in the name of recording, but worth it. Recording, I will not deny the recording. Recording is quality, audio, video, the emotions, you get all clearly. But if the other side person is not interested on listening, gone. So that's what happening. But you will argue with me, man. The same guy will not read MOM also, right? You can argue with me. I don't have an answer for it. But yeah, I somehow feel maybe I'm a bit old guy. Huh? Okay, coming back here on the reports part. Oh, sorry, Deepak, you put the hands up there. Yes, Deepak.
Is this, for example, sometimes we have technical bulletins. Is this also part of communication management plan?
Technical bulletins. Is it related to project discussions you want to share?
For example, sometimes we sell some hardware, and then we provide some software update on that particular hardware, and then we release the technical bulletin in the terms like, now this hardware and the embedded software will work on operating system Windows 11 as well from now onwards. So this is a kind of technical bulletin which we can give to dealers and the end user.
And that is called release notes. When you do something like it, it's called a release note. It's a mandatory. There is no escape. That's a release notes. When you say technical bulletin, that's totally different. What you say is a technical release notes. If Zoom is updating some bullet points, when I click an update button, as per the law rule, they have to tell what all got updated. Anyway, we don't bother about the rule and law. We just click update. We read 3 points, and we don't bother anyway update. We believe these guys. But when it comes to customer sending, when a product is being received, they will definitely check those release points. And they say these are the release notes, release points, and then they accept it. Technical bulletin could be a little more detailed if you want to talk something on technically what you did, some information, or in your company you have some technical conference out of which you get some output that should be part of your newspaper. So this all goes between your company and your stakeholder. If they're showing interest on your technical growth in your company, that's part of your agreement, then you go for it. For example, you are subscribing to one of the software. And when you go for the subscription, they say that in future, any newsletter, I'll be interested to listen. You do a check mark. Have you seen the check mark?
Yeah.
Which means in the stakeholder engagement or any agreement you signed, I want this paper. From then on, they start sending it. Anyway, you will delete it, but they keep sending you, which means you agreed. So anything and everything you discuss and agree, then comes into communication.
But
Fair
that's
enough?
also communication management plan. These all things.
Of course, you have to see
Okay.
nothing out of this plan you have to do, which is a burden for you. Nothing out of the plan, if you do, customer also may deny it. Okay. But in the world where we are working in projects which doesn't bother about it, it's a waste of energy. You're going to waste your energy. That's it. You will send it. No one bothers. They don't even reply, respond. They don't bother. But a release notes, release bulletin, or a technical bulletin, you already communicated this. We will do in this format. They all agreed it. It's good. But is it for predictive or adaptive? I would say for any project. Why you should waste your time, or why they should waste their time when that doesn't make sense at all, right? So you have to do this process clearly. All right, that's a good question, Deepak. Thanks a lot. By the way, Deepak, should be early morning for you? You got that early?
No, it's what is the time here? I'm in Finland, so it's 2:12 in the afternoon.
Sorry, I thought it's Canada. Okay, thanks, Deepak. Reports. Before I jump to the questions, I'll take this page. When I say reports, number of reports. From school days, this report card, we are scared. How many of you here like me? Huh? Every time the teachers give a report card, that will be a scary evening to go home. On top of that, we have to get a signature from parents. God's sake, man. Okay, toughest time. After crossing that, when you come to corporate, in corporate also we have a report. But this time, good thing here is report, status report. So here we keep sharing the reports with the management. A day will come, people will share reporting to you. Oh, really? One day? Yeah, one day will come. Still, parents knows about you. You are that same guy, right? In school. Okay, now we have something called a status report, progress report, trend report, forecasting report. Lot of report. I don't want to stop with one report, but question to you, is this report you force on your customer, or it's a mutual agreement between both the party?
Both the party.
It should be mutually agreed within both the party. If you don't do that, it's a waste of time again. Now, where it's mutually agreed, Shriram, because Ramesh is a good contractor, John is a good guy from US, they are good friends, so they agreed. Will you go like that? Today it's John, tomorrow somebody else will come. Today it is Ramesh, somebody else will come. So it is not based on human character in a corporate decide this. Of course, human value is there, but doesn't mean you don't rely on one particular character. You have to document it somewhere, what all the reports expected, in what format expected, in what frequency expected, who to be shared. I don't want to share my status report to anyone in the company. Because I'm doing contracting with X company, I will not put a distro of X companies in the report. Not needed, doesn't make sense at all. So for this reason, as a manager, you constantly stay in touch what sort of communication you did, who, when, what, why, all will cover. But you're going to question me, what's the problem in standing with the distro? Man, in distro, I have 10 people. Let the 2 of them read, 8 of them delete it. If you start doing that, what is happening here is you don't know exactly the key stakeholder from whom you have to expect a feedback. Now, it will become a one-way communication. Sometimes you don't know whether I have to get a two-way communication. Of course, you have push-pull methods where one-way, two-way can happen. But the point is, if you want specific stakeholder to respond to you back, you should specifically send to them, have a conversation to them, get a feedback from them. For that reason, we have a clear detail of who have to get this info. I believe you do this already. I'm just sharing from the PMI perspective. Now, why we are doing all this stuff? Wrapping up, why we do all this stuff? The reason is, if in a project, things has to move in a right order. When I say right order, we have constraints, time constraint, money constraint, requirement constraint, or scope constraint, quality, risk, resource, all limitation is there. When I say limitation, this is what's given to you. Your life is also a constraint, right? Your lifespan is going to be 70 years, 80 years. We will all be 80 years, 90 years. I think yesterday also spoke the same topic. We have a span of constraint, right? Within this constraint, what to do? Now, in a project, we have a constraint. Within this constraint, what you can do? If you know clearly what should be done in this timeline, in this money, in this quality parameter, for that reason, you need a very effective communication. If it is very ineffective, what will happen is you will break all the constraints. Your time will go extra, money will go extra, quality will have trouble, resource will be utilized overly, attrition will happen. To arrest all these things, we are reading this information. You can do without this also. Nobody's going to hurt you. Nobody's going to say anything, but you will see the results as it moves on. PMI Institute runs through 200 countries, goes a number of projects. They come back and say that, guys, when you follow this, there is a high chance you may fall in the good track of completing the project in a smooth way. You got some points from communication today. Are you comfortable?
Yes.
Comfortable? Yeah.
Yes.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Okay. Is any of your family members very happy with your communication? Whenever you speak, wow, man. Do they say like this for you?
Never.
Not much.
No.
Yeah, that's not easy, right? Family members, they don't care what you are. But again, try it from following days. More than talking, see if you can listen to them. They may be elderly people or younger people. Sit and listen to them. The more you listen, better you communicate. Shri, are you doing this? I am also learning. I am also reading PMI. So we are learning. So it's a lifelong learning, but see if you can listen better. That will improve you. What you do at home, you do at office. What you do at office, you do at home. Many people say that that's different, this is different. I don't agree on that. You cannot live split personality. If you live, you are faking yourself. That will be heavy and it will be tired for you. Within 10-15 years, your professional and personal life gets tired when you fake both the place. So live what you are in office, live what you are at home. All right. Any questions on communication before I bring a question from the paper? Any questions? Okay, if no questions, what I do is I could see two people put their hands up there regarding exam. We'll talk at least one or two questions. Who was that?
This is Arsha.
Harsha, yeah. A couple of them who have a question, please put your hands up regarding exam. Then I'll come back to you. I'll start with Harsha. Hey, Harsha.
So we have overall 180 questions, right? So all 180 questions, within 180 questions, we have 3 splits, 16:3. So, is there any syllabus specific question in first 60 or something, or it's overall distributed across 180?
Okay, that's a good question. So you are from the current month PMP batch, am I right, Harsha?
Yeah.
Okay. Have you seen this something called exam content outline? Have you?
Yes, I have seen once. Right.
Very good. So what is happening in exam content outline? You would have seen certain areas where the exam question will come. I believe you would have seen something called people, process, domain, right? You've seen that. Now I'll help you a little more. Are you seeing the screen what I'm sharing now?
Yeah.
Now what is happening here is in exam, they will go through 3 areas as you see in the screen. What are the 3 areas? We have people,
process, and business domain.
environment. So do you know which domain, how much of questions they ask? I can help you this 8%.
Yeah.
Then for process?
42.
I'm sorry. Repeat again.
42.
50, I think.
Really?
50?
Really?
50?
Okay. How about people?
42.
42. Why this percentage is given? What's the meaning of this percentage? You understanding this?
Eh,
Which means your exam have a combination of these three domains. Now your question is, in exam, we have 60, 60, and 60. You want to know in this each 60, any split up will be there. Is that your question?
Yeah.
Right. Answer your question, no. Because they don't want to do further split up here, which will confuse you all. And that doesn't make sense called as a professional exam. We are doing a professional exam. So 180 will have this split up. And this 60 is a combination of all the questions. So you will have something on agile, you will have something on predictive, you will have something on hybrid, you will have something from all the 6 constraints, you will have something on stakeholder management, communication, integration. It goes on broader. There was a guy, I don't remember the name of the person, men or women. The person said the first question was a math question. I think it's a guy who said, first question was a math question, and a lot of content. I have to read a lot number of minutes to understand the subject. So point is, it's not about first 60, second 60. They mix and ask the questions.
Got you. Thank you, sir.
Fantastic. Let's move on. Just starting. Who's the next question? Kadirvel.
Sri, I forgot that. What is the end value report, Sri?
Okay. Have the current batch, right, Karthik? Kadirvel?
Yes.
All right. We are yet to come to the place called cost management and schedule management. There is something called earned value management, EVM. Okay. Can I assume you are in management for at least a few years?
Yes, Sri.
How long you are in management, Kadirvel?
3 to 4 years.
3 to 4 years. Okay. How do you show the report to your senior management that what money has been spent, what you have got back? Are you showing such kind of reports?
Yes, it will be project expense and other billing all the based on that one.
Okay. For that, there is an international terminology that's called earned value, EAR, earned value. You earn something out of it. So there is a chapter called earned value management, where we learn about this is the time and this is the money invested for which what we got so far. Where are we? Are we in track, or we have to adjust something? Right? There is something called CPI, SPI. You will learn those things in classes in coming week. And that's part of your exam. There are some questions they ask mathematically. Formulas will come. To answer your question directly, the report explains about what is the earned value out of this project flow, for which we use it. What you said, that's a terminology what you use in your company, or it could be your colloquial way of saying. Colloquial means the normal way you talk in office. But there is some international terminology for that. That's called earned value. Okay.
Sometimes the mock test, I have some questions came. I couldn't able to give a proper.
Very good. Very good. Did you took time after that to read what is it in Google? If you click it within 10 minutes, you can learn what it is. Have you did it?
Okay. No.
No, you have to do that. That's called curiosity.
Okay.
Now, good you asked now. Now you have to increase his curiosity. What is EVM? You have to go to Rita book or PMBOK book. Hardly there'll be 3-4 pages. You have to sit and read. It'll take a few minutes of time. And go to Google, click EVM. Okay, I'm just giving you the word for you, EVM. Okay. Click that and spend some time. There is a wiki page for EVM. They elaborate it. Don't go too much into that. Understand what it is. So that when you come to the class, it'll be so nice. You'll be so interested to learn.
Okay. Okay, Sri. Thank you.
Fantastic. Good wishes. Karthik.
Hi, Sri. So I'm from July 2022 batch. So current, yeah. So my examination target date is 18th September I have planned. Currently, application has been approved, and the remaining days is 31 days is what is showing now. In this period of time, I need to apply for the exam. If it getting expired, whether I need to reinitiate for the approval or how it is, I just want to understand.
Did I hear that 18th September is our date?
Correct. Yeah. 18th
Okay.
September is my
18th
plan.
means you have 2 weeks exactly right now for the final day.
Yeah.
Okay, let's park that. First, how is your preparation? Your reading, exam writing?
Yeah, I'm taking this 60 question mocks, and every week I'm taking that, and also chapter wise when I'm reading chapter wise test also I'm taking.
Okay.
And I have not taken 180 questions of mock till now.
That's okay.
My target is on 9th of September to take the first mock.
Very good. Very good. Okay, now come to the final question. Are you good to write the exam before 18? If not, you like the if not, right? If not, you have an option to renew or extend your date. What you have to do is to PMI Institute, you have to send out an email that for some reason you could not do within this date. Can I get some extension? Sometimes they give 2 months extension, sometimes they give 3 months extension. So once you get that extension, you can use that timeline to close the exam. Got it?
Understood.
But it should not turn into Parkinson's law. You know what is a Parkinson's law? Work expands to the time what we have. So what will happen is, if you get 3 months extension, again, the books will go back to the shelf. Let's read after some time. So it shouldn't be that way. The energy what you have right now, you have to continue. Start your first full exam on 9th of September. Post me the score, what you got. Then we'll take a deal what to do.
Sure. Yeah, got it.
Perfect. Last question to you. Have you completed reading the book?
Yeah, I completed reading the book.
Very good. Are you working in agile environment?
I am from automotive background. Actually, we are working on this planned way
Predictive model. Planned model. Okay, nice.
Model.
Nice. Then you read agile practice guide also properly.
Yeah.
All right. Good,
Sure.
Karthik, but stay in touch. Are you in touch with me in WhatsApp?
Yeah. I am in touch with you in WhatsApp. Yeah. Actually, I joined the May month batch as well. So
okay.
Yeah. So this time 18th is my final target. Yeah.
Let's hit it. Stay in touch, and I will expect your score on 9th of September.
Sure. Yeah. Thanks.
All right. Good. Jagadisan.
Yeah. Hi, Shri. So when you explain these questions, like the pattern 60, 60, 60. So like in that 60, after the first 60, I can opt my 10 minutes of break, right? So when I come back, so like if I have passed some of the questions, so is it a chance that I can look back, or we have to submit the questions?
When you say passed, you mean you mark it for review?
Yes, exactly.
You mean that, right? Okay, so let me help you with that. This is a screen you may have seen somewhere in the class. Are you seeing the screen, watching the screen, what I'm saying now?
Yeah.
Now, your question is, I will do 60 questions. In this 60 questions, I have marked 3 questions for review.
Correct.
Okay. And then I'll go for a break. When you go for the break, you will walk out of your exam center room and you will go to washroom, or when you come back, you will have some food to eat. Maybe you can't open your mobile, but maybe you do something and come back. Now, what is the PMI thought here is, when somebody goes out, which means they have high opportunity to check out what is the answer for the question.
Okay.
If that is the case, what PMI does is, whenever you do 60 questions and the break pops up, this block will be locked.
Okay.
When you come back, you will start with a fresh 60 questions. You are not allowed to go to the previous one. The reason is somebody is going. Now you can ask me, Shri, I'm not going to take this break. I'm going to say no.
Exactly.
Still will PMI allow me? The answer is again no. Break is given to you. It's up to you whether to use it or not. The moment break comes, it's been locked. Okay.
Fine. Thank you. Thank you.
That's a rule they follow. All right. Good question. Then I'll go to the next person. I have Naveen.
Yeah, hi Shri. I think I WhatsApped you about my marks, and I was a bit worried like how the progress is going. Looking at that, so wanted to have some insights from you. I think I have just 4 days for the exam to happen.
Praveen, I'm sorry, Naveen, right? Okay.
Yes, Naveen.
Praveen, okay. Naveen, I remember I saw your scores. I think I asked you a few questions, right? An hour before?
Yep. You're right.
We were in chat for some time.
Yes.
Score started going down. Okay, yeah. For you, I spoke about the break. Then you didn't took any break in the last 4 exams.
No, I didn't take any breaks because I was sitting at home and I felt like I would be distracting from my exam focus and the flow of thoughts how it is going. And
You have a habit of watching back-to-back Netflix series?
No.
Because sitting 4 hours is painful, man. You should not do like that. At least when I did an exam, there was a rule in PMI, we can't take a break. But still, I took break on the expense of 8 minutes I lost. But I'm fine to lose 8 minutes rather losing the exam. I think that's what impacting you now. A human cannot do continuously something, that too at this age. Maybe you're also above some age, huh? You're not 18. Sure, right? So our blood and our brain, our human nature call, all are there, right? You cannot force your body like that. That also one of the point. I will handle that's the only point of the score dropping. But again, score dropping went down there. Did you analyze the question paper to see where you did a lot of mistakes? You did that?
Yes, Shri. So what I understood was, the first mock which I took was more of a predictive approach, and I felt I did well in predictive approach, but in the agile there were some gaps in understanding the servant leadership mindset point of view. So later, when I took the second and third, I could do better in the agile aspects, but the predictive questions were a bit low. But mathematics was too much. And I didn't do well in the mathematics, but the fourth one was completely, I think, out of 180, somewhere around 160 questions were of agile. But today I just took it today morning itself. I have to still go through on the gap. So why is it so?
I understand. This last 3 exam would have consumed at least 10 days of time so far.
Mostly 1 week only.
1 week. Okay. Are you giving proper gap between one exam and another exam?
Yes. I mean, like I had taken last exam, I think Friday, and today only I've taken that.
Okay. So why I'm asking all these questions is to see that are you having a pattern of preparation or randomly you're preparing? If there is some pattern needed in preparation, you take an exam and then take a time to analyze. When you say more predictive, more agile, then what we did after that? Did we took time to read the area where I'm weak? Did we properly understood why I could not understand this question? If a person can't do that retrospective and understand that, next exam, of course, it will be same. Maybe 1 or 2% will vary. Right. So that is why I keep saying, are you following a pattern? That exam you took 2 days to analyze because you may be working. You may be a parent. A lot of things are there, right? You cannot just like put all the effort there. Also, are you doing the exam in the time where you're not highly disturbed? You're focused. So many factors. Now, I don't think you have that much of room right now to do research. You have only 5 days, isn't it?
Yes.
5 days. Okay. If you're comfortable and you feel that at any cost, I'll go for this exam. Advice is, as I put in a chat with you, take 60 questions. In the 60 questions, set a proper timer. 60 questions means it will take 75 minutes. You have to keep yourself 75 minutes of clock. In this 75 minutes, you have to do the 60 question properly. Take time to sit and analyze the 60 questions. What went wrong? What went right? The gap area, you have to write down on a paper somewhere and start reading those areas. You have to be very honest on what you're doing. Only then things can improve. If you can do like this for a few 60 questions, let's say 2, 3, 4, if you do, and then I'll give you a few more points what you have to focus on the last few days. Do these 2 items, your confidence level starts going high. I would say stop with your full exams. Enough with full. Don't do full right now. But I put in a message, if I remember in the morning, I messaged you saying that in main exam, at any cost, you will take a break.
Yep.
You
I'll do
should
that.
not ignore the break. Main exam. Are you going to center-based exam?
Yes, I'm going for center-based.
Please take a break after 60th question. When you come to 60th question, it will be 70 minutes, 80 minutes, somewhere there. Take a break. Go complete things in washroom, come back and wash your face and then have something to eat. And then fresh up yourself and go for it. Freshing up is very, very, very important. I do take training from morning 5:30, 6:30 till night. Be exhausted. I need a break. In between 10 minutes, I have to go out, eat something, do something. Still, it is tired. You keep on talking, your brain is keep processing, right? You cannot keep, I'm not singing something, I have to keep talk something on this. Your brain is keep on processing, it gets warm, body gets energy burnout.
Yep.
Same happens for you, right? A chess player says a little loss of weight when they play a game. When you play chess, your brain is super warm. In your body, brain is the highest consuming organ. You are using that without break means it's going to strain heavily. When they're given to you, utilize it. That's only reason. Don't think because of that scores went down. Maybe you have to read those gap, or you can't put everything on there. Hey, no break. No, going for 10 minutes break, take smoke and come back and do it. No, it won't work. It don't work like that. You have to analyze the gap also. So do some 60 questions. Keep me posted on a daily basis what's happening.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
Sure. So your suggestion is to go ahead with the weekly, 60 questions for each day, right?
Each day is too much, one after other day. Maybe give an alternate and do that. The alternative day, sit and analyze all the 60, read the gap.
Okay. Okay.
Yep.
Sure.
On top of that, I'll give you some bullet points to work. Are you taking off from your work?
Yes.
Okay, nice. Yeah, have some few days off from your work. I want you to stay focused next 1 week. No television, no mobile, no newspaper, nothing.
Yeah. Sure.
Don't worry whether rocket went to moon or sun. They will take care. We'll do our job. So focus on what you have to do. Okay. So next 1 week, no distraction, nothing. Only food, sleep, books, reading.
Yeah.
Good.
Sure. Thank you. Thank you.
Let's rock. Right. Mr. Praveen.
Yes, Sri. I just have, a question on the EVM just as you were saying. So return on investment is a part of EVM, or how is it?
No. This falls in the first chapter in a framework or somewhere you will see. It is going to be called as IRR, ROI. These are terms used to talk about how a project is selected. We use it for project selection criteria. Will this project investment will give me back? That is called return on investment. Will it give me internal rate of return? They use on project selection criteria in PMP. If you go to some other certification, other area, they use in different places. Here, they use it only for project selection or vendor choosing. So those areas they'll use it. EVM is once a project is running, you want to check, is it really giving back something? Am I earning something on the money invested? Is this going well? It's not about profit or loss. It talks about how a project is progressing. I want to see the progression of the project and then take a measure of adding and removing. For that reason, they use EVM. So both are different tracks.
So it comes, so as you're telling, this EVM will come under monitoring and controlling of why as the project.
You got it rightly. It comes in cost management. It has a connection between cost, schedule, and scope. But primarily in PMP books, we'll talk in cost management. There is a chapter called control cost. There they talk about detail of this formula calculations.
Understood. Yeah.
Perfect. You are from a current batch, right?
Yes, Sri. Yes.
Right. We will talk more. I see a question from Pushparaj. Just curious to why the batch numbers were not assigned. Instead of July batch, August batch, etc., we can have a number. Good thought, Mr. Pushparaj. We'll think about it. Appreciate it.
All right. Okay. Thank you.
We can give a number, right? That's a good number. Okay. Not 7. People will, hey, I'm not 7 batch. Born. That's a good idea. We will think of this. Thanks.
Sri, just one more question I have.
Yep.
Sorry to interrupt you. So I was just going through this process domain, and regarding this process approach we have, right? Like initiation, planning, execution, monitoring and control, and closure. this whole process approach comes within the big bubble of management and control. So, I mean, are you able to see the picture that I'm saying? Like, you have the bubbles right in Rita book: initiation, planning, execution, monitoring, and control and closure. So it comes again within the big bubble, monitoring and controlling. So is this very much applicable for predictive approach, or is it very much towards the agile approach?
So you're talking about the 47 or 49 process sheet from PMI, isn't it? For example, you're talking about this sheet, what I'm sharing now?
No, I am talking about in Rita book.
Okay, are you seeing this in the Rita book in the sense of you're talking about something is initiating, planning, executing?
Yes, exactly.
Right.
So,
this was written more for a predictive nature, where you develop a charter and you spend a lot of time in planning, heavy time planning. Once the planning is ready, then the people start working. However, this was totally for a predictive model, but it can be adopted some portion with Agile. For example, I may not spend too much of time on planning. I have a high level planning and start doing the job. I'll come back to planning again. It's a repetition. Again, do the job, again planning again. This is an iterative model, but we don't want to complicate this picture. This is written for predictive. Let's go by predictive. So answer your question, if Rita is giving, could be more of a predictive model.
But this whole process approach comes within the bubble of monitoring and controlling. So how does it work? Initiation, planning, execution, monitoring, and closure comes within monitoring and control again.
Okay, we are talking in a very open air now. Probably let's both discuss separately. Put me a WhatsApp message. I will see.
Sure.
Not able to confuse other people. Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
All right. I think we're running out of the time. We will talk with the Mahendra Paul and move on. Hey, Mahendra Paul.
Hi, Shri. After a long time. Actually, I just wanted to discuss offline, but I thought it will utilize this time. I was preparing, but due to some other official commitment and things, it got derailed. And now again, there is a official plan to go for a shutdown support that is 24/7. So it's looked like till November, I will be fully occupied. There will be a complete disconnect between what I was preparing and the activity. So how to tackle this situation? What is your suggestion?
I think this is a one-on-one with your senior manager. Okay. Anyway, I'll answer it. I may not be a right person to tell how to tackle your project work. But even though you work in
I am how to tackle this, include this PM preparation.
I understand. I know it's a one-on-one for your manager. Okay, one quick thing here is if project is demanding more, work is demanding more, the whole purpose of doing PMP is to improve your way of working. So you don't need to force yourself that I will somehow do PMP. That's not the need there. But if at all you're coming here for today, sitting on Sunday, which means it is not only job makes you happy. You want to go beyond that.
Yes.
Right? If job makes you happy, why should somebody be here? Okay.
Yes.
Which means you want to go beyond that. That's why you are here. So what you have to do now is, till November it's going to happen. To find out what is the routine going to be for you for next 4 or 5 months. If you can tune your routine, you will buy at least 30 to 45 minutes per day. First thing is, goal is to clear the exam. If you kept the goal of October, move it to December. Okay. And keep next 3-4 months routine clearly set. And Monday to Friday, at any cost, 5:30 to 6 morning, I will definitely read at least 2 pages. Or somewhere I will listen the recording of the video. Either I'm traveling, driving, I will do this. Even though it's a small, I will do it. Every 1% if you add, it will accumulate. So you will do that for continuously for some time. And whenever a Saturday, Sunday happens, a break definitely will come. As a human being, will get a break. That time, take a 60 question or 180 question, slowly improve it. By November, when all the schedule gets over, you will be in a shape. Now, December, we can plan for the exam. Even though I'm just talking everything in the open air, because it's your company, your work, but you have to see where your time is getting eaten, either by mobile or laptop or television or some friends activity. If you can buy some time from there, that will be your future.
Okay.
Yep.
Thank you.
I'm not the right person to talk about your personal way, but I will tell that first check your life routine. Routine decides your growth.
Okay.
Good.
Thank you.
Fantastic, Mahendrapal. Nice to see you. All right, guys. I had a few questions to talk. Unfortunately, time running out, but still I'm very unsatisfied if you don't share a question. So what I do is, for my happiness, I bring one question to talk. Today, time is going to be super crunch because too many things packed on for me. Here it is. Question. I took an agile question to see whether you can answer it better. Can I see the answer in the chat box? Can you please fill it up, everyone? I'm seeing answers falling with the A. Okay, I'm going to pull out somebody to talk about. Someone can speak up. Sai, Suchitra, Subhashis, Paramita. For A, can someone of you tell why you thought A makes a big sense here?
Two keywords, right? One is servant leader for an agile team, and what's not recommended action at this stage, right? You're at the initial stage. So
very good. So servant leader is a key word. I'm hearing that. And one is not recommended. Okay. So what I'm hearing is not recommended is the product owner is asked to select the stories.
Yeah. So he needs to facilitate and,
Okay, let's
so
put the
that
question this way. Let's put the question this way. Instead of not recommended, let's make it as recommended. What is recommended way in this part?
D.
Recommended way is you help the analyze, you help the team. You're going to help the team to analyze the stories and decide the priorities. As servant leader, to help the team to analyze the stories or facilitate the team. There's a difference between facilitation and helping.
I think the priorities will be decided by the teams, right? He will just facilitate the discussions and all this stuff, but the actual priorities and the analysis of those stories will be done by the team.
All right. Now let's go for the answers who said B or D. With this question, anyone want to talk about B or D if you're chosen? Praveen, you said B. Why you thought B? Praveen feels bad.
No, because in yesterday's class you told that while preparing the story part of it, you need not go for the size of the story as such.
Okay.
So with that information, I made this choice. I don't know whether it's right or wrong exactly.
Okay. Okay. One thing I mentioned the exam preparation questions. When you read a question, who the question is being targeted, you have to be very careful on that question reading. You are the servant leader on an agile team. It could be a project manager, scrum master, delivery manager, some role. Okay. You are a servant leader. And the question is targeting which of the following is not recommended action at this stage. Here, the question is targeting as an individual or a project team or project itself. Who is being targeted?
The servant leader.
Servant leader. If everyone agree that servant leader is targeted, your answer should be based on servant leader here. The first elimination technique you will apply, any answer which is not targeted to that person should be removed. That answer should be removed. Right? So which of the following is not a recommended action at this stage? I'll still park the answer. I'll give one more chance to someone else to talk. Anyone who went with a different answer apart from A and B.
Can I?
Yeah, please.
Now my view is that servant leader is the focused person here, and which is not recommended is he going to help at this stage of the project? You help the team analyze the stories and decide the priorities of the items. I felt it is negative. That's why I chose it.
You chose D.
Yes.
So what you had for lunch, Pushparaj?
No, whatever, not normal food.
No food.
Nice, yeah.
So the message is we all have to not take food like Pushparaj. So we get the correct answer.
Really? Oh God. Once in blue moon.
Okay. So you're excited, happy, right? You can talk to your family members. Don't take food before taking exam. Huh? Okay. That's not the message.
That's the correct one.
That's right. The way you thought is it's not at this stage of project. That's the way I will underline that point. What you said, you had to correct little there. Now, as a servant leader, it is not what stage of the project. Servant leader at any time, no need to help the team to analyze the stories. You only facilitate. Help is different. Facilitation is different. If you watch out here, if I go back to the explanation, the servant leader facilitate an agile team and does not make decisions for the team. You won't do that. Now, if someone is a little careful, could have read this here, who take decisions? A product owner is asked to select the stories for the iteration. Of course, they do that. They talk about it. Agile team estimate the size. Yeah, they do. They talk as a team. Agile teams decide the sprint duration, expected velocity. They can talk what they can do. So these areas possible, not forcibly, but it's possible. But this guy as a servant leader will not come and sit and help to analyze the stories, decide the priority. The decision is not with the Scrum Master or project manager who is called servant leader. You have to step away, allow your team to do. This is a little tricky question. And the reason it's a tricky is when you see the word help, our brain will tell, of course, that's the role of this guy. But helping on what? Decision making. I'm not going to make a decision. I'll facilitate. I'll tell them what could be there, what all can happen. There I stop. I'll allow the team because they're knowledge workers. They're capable of doing things. That's a way of thinking for servant leadership. Got that? Good enough?
Yep.
Pushparaj, you're happy going to celebrate today?
Yeah, hopefully. It's already celebration because only 1 hour class today.
God, man, you are the happiest guy for 1 hour, huh? All right, good. Nice all meeting. Any other questions I can quickly help out popping up?
I am also a little confused between A and D.
Okay. Go back to your WhatsApp group. This question is posted on 29th of August. Read again. See the justification explained. Probably will come with some answer. Further, we'll talk if more needed. Okay. All right. So I have to get to the next class. So thanks all for participation. I hope these sessions are adding some value for you. And keep up this energy. Come on, every Sundays we'll talk. Next Sunday, we'll bring another topic. We'll do this conversation. I want to stick it to 1 hour, but always it goes 1 hour, 20 minutes. I should work out on my time box properly. Thanks all for participation. Have a great Sunday. We'll catch up again. See you all. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you, Shri. Bye.
Thank you.